Okay, so I have what we call as a live trace here inside of Illustrator. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is if the live trace looks the way that you want it, fine, just keep what you have. But if you want to alter it, there is a way of converting your live trace into it's like breaking it up into smaller pieces. To do that inside of Illustrator, it's underneath the object expand. So I have my live trace thing that I just made, my drawing that I just made. If I go under object expand, it'll ask me, do I want to expand objects and fill? And I'm going to say yes. And what it has done now is it has made it into individual pieces. You'll notice if I move it around, you start seeing the points that are along the object. And if I zoom in, you can see the points that we've been used to. You'll see there's corner points and probably all kinds of different points that you can work with. And so that's one way. And of course, you can use your direct selection tool and grab your point if you want and move it around and adjust. See, make his head a little bit bigger there. So you can see that you can adjust things. I'm going to undo that. I'm going to leave it like it is. But I just wanted to show you that you can alter and work with the images. I'm going to actually keep it like it is right now and group it. Okay, so there is a way of altering it, and once you've done that, then you can even change the color of it and things like that. So keep that in mind. So that's one of the pieces I'm going to use in my design. I'll probably have it in the upper corner here, and I probably will have it kind of cut off a little bit on my poster. I'm going to have them, part of it being in the upper corner here of my design. The next thing I'm going to work on as far as my design is concerned is going to be a background. One of the things about Toulouse-Lautrec is he would make a lot of posters and of course put them up in the streets of Paris and things like that. So instead of having a plain ugly white background for my poster, I'm going to use a color background. To do that, I'm gonna make a new layer, and in this case I'm gonna name this layer that I have right now, and this is gonna be Toulouse. This will be photo portrait. So that's the portrait of the artist. Next, I'm going to make a new layer for the background. So if I click in the layer window, you'll notice there's a bunch of options at the bottom down here. One of them next to trash can is a new layer window, and if I click on that, allow me to make a new layer. Once I've made a new layer, I can then go and draw. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rectangle across the entire image. So I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. I might even hide the photo right now for right now. And then to hide there's an eyeball right there, just like in Photoshop, where show, hide, show, hide, show, hide. I'm going to hide it right now, and I'm just going to work on, and let's call this layer background. So I'm going to call it background. In this case, I'm going to use just a plain rectangle tool. I'm going to choose a color, and I'm going to choose kind of an old style, kind of rough tan poster paper kind of look. If you look at newsprint paper, it's called newsprint paper or something like that. It's kind of like this ugly brown, unbleached kind of, and that's sort of the background of his posters were always kind of like that because of the paper that they used. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle over top of that. And oops, that's not kind of dark enough. I like it to be a little bit more oranger. Oh, you know what the problem is? It's working in grayscale mode. You'll get that option all the time when you start working inside of Illustrator. It gets kind of confused about, should I be in color or should I be in grayscale? It thinks I'm in grayscale because I converted that image to a black and white image from a grayscale photo. So if you remember, inside of Illustrator, under the color option here, I need to change it. I want to use CMYK. Remember, that's the color mode I'm using. I'm using CMYK. So that was under color. In the upper right corner, there's a pull down menu that allows you to adjust the different colors. And so that's kind of the color I want to use. Let me use it a little bit browner. There we go. Kind of ugly. And that's even too dark. I want to make it a little brighter. Like bright tan. There we go. So give me a nice bright tan color. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to give it a little bit of a texture to it. One of the things that we did when we were doing the fruit is I was using some of the effects that were underneath here to give my piece of fruit some texture. And to do this right now, if I go underneath the texture option here, I want to kind of give it kind of a I guess like a sort of texture of a. Let's see. Under artistic, do we have a paper looking maybe? What else did I used noise one time and it tended to work out, and it was underneath there. Maybe halftone. No, noise. What is pointillize? What does that do? That looks good if it was wasn't so colorful. Adds a texture to it. Wow. Okay, that's too much. I just want to add a little noise. Maybe underneath texture here we could go with the patchwork stained glass mosaic texturizer. It's got the burlap going there. Kind of looks like something. Oh yeah, there's burlap, canvas, sandstone. Yeah, the sandstone gives me what I'm kind of looking for. I want it really subtle, so I'm going to go with a really subtle relief there. There we go. So I add a little texture to that. Now the downfall of doing that is it takes over your image and it takes forever to redraw your image. So that's something I might not do to the very end. And if you look at it, if I zoom in, you'll notice I get this nice sort of texture to that color in the background there. The downfall of that too is when you print it out, it kind of prints out kind of rough like this and doesn't look very good. But at least you can see that you can add a texture to your background and things like that. In fact, if it's printed out, it might look better than just plain color in the background. So in this case, I'm going to turn that off for right now. I don't really want to have that texture in there. Whenever you apply an effect to your layers and things like that, or to a graphic, it shows up in the appearance window. And if you don't see your appearance window, and I got too many things open here, it's going driving me crazy here. In the appearance window, it should show up, and you'll notice there's one called texturizer in there. So if I just turn it off for now, I can always go back and turn it back on. But if I turn it off, I don't have to sit there and wait for it to render. See how this bar comes up, this progress bar? Every time you make a change and stuff, you'd have to sit there and watch that. That takes too much time. So you might want to keep it there and use it at the very end, but I'm going to just turn it off for now so that when I'm working, I don't have to deal with it doing that. Next, I'm going to rearrange my layers. Okay, so I have my background color, which doesn't have my texture because I just hid it under texturizer. But I'm going to turn my portrait back on. Notice how my portrait now is underneath it. So I'm going to go back to my black arrow. I'm going to rearrange my layers. How do I rearrange my layers? Is I can click on my background and drag it underneath the photo portrait, and it'll be over top. And then you look at it and you say, damn, that white of Toulouse-Lautrec is coming through. Do you remember what we did before? We grouped it and broke our image up using the expand option. Remember the expand option converted it into objects? So if I zoom in here and look at it, you'll notice when I made it to black and white, it also made it a black and white image. Okay, and by doing that, what has happened is the white area you can't see through, but the black area. So what I want to do is I'm going to kind of remove some of the white area, but maybe keep it in his face and in his neck area here, but get rid of it along this part. So how I'm going to do that again, if you remember, I grouped my portrait, so I'm going to ungroup it. Nope, I got to select it first. I might lock the background. There's a little lock right here, so you don't mess with the background when you're done with a piece. It's a good idea to lock it so you don't move it accidentally or don't select it accidentally. Remember, this is a vector-based application, so you tend to, when you're clicking on things, it thinks you want to select them. So by locking them here, it'll keep you from having to move things or select things accidentally. So if I remember, I selected my portrait and I grouped it. So if I select it and go under Object, Ungroup, it'll then go back to where it was, where there were they're individual pieces. And then I'm going to grab my points, remember my points, and I'm going to move this one inside a little bit. Go up here to the top. I'm going to move this one inside. Okay, and then I might add a couple more points here if you remember how to add. Well, probably don't. We'll probably move this one in too. There we go. Move that one in, and you really don't need to really worry about it because you can. Oh, it's moving it kind of behind it. go. Should keep a little bit of white over here. Okay. So in this case, I've just kind of moved the white areas around behind it. And then again, if you remember the pen tool, when you're using the pen tool, you can add a white or add a point or subtract a point. So in this case, under the pen tool here, you'll notice there's the add anchor point, delete anchor point. I'm going to add a couple anchor points to the edge of my path here, and then just line it up with my object here, my black object. Add an anchor point here and move it in. Let me adjust this directional arm. There we go. So it kind of blends nicely with the edge of his face here. That's good enough for now. And then I can click over here. Oops. Can I put one along here? And then let's keep one in there for his ear. Let me add one right here. And so you can add, just using my directional, there we go. That's kind of what I want to do. And then let's keep it so it's nice and even along the edge there. That's kind of nice. So again, I can move and alter my images, and now the color comes through. It's not just in an ugly white box, but again, I didn't want to cover his face totally up. I want to keep it white. I don't want to see the texture coming through. So I have a nice black and white image of Toulouse-Lautrec right now. Just altering my objects and getting it to be the way I want. So it's a good start. We have a background image and we have a portrait, and I might just lock that portrait. In fact, no, let me make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to group it again by using Apple A to select all the objects within this layer. Apple G, or I'm not using Apple, I'm using Control because I'm on Windows, but the Apple key on the Mac would do the. So Control A and Control G. Control A selects all the objects within that layer, and then Control G would group it. And I'm just going to make it that just a little bit bigger. I like that graphic, and I like it being cut off a little bit, sort of like that. So when the poster is printed, it'll cover this area up. It'll only print this part. I want to kind of be bleeding off the edge there. Okay, next we're going to talk about the title and typography a little bit, and there's a whole chapter in a book on typography. In this case, I want to make a title for my Toulouse-Lautrec poster here. And if you look at any of his images online, and let's go back to Google for a moment here. And if I look under images and we search, what's the posters? You'll notice he's made several posters, all of these, and if you look at the typography of them, okay, he's got nice big fonts, okay, kind of hand-drawn fonts, okay, and there's a whole bunch of them. You see these nice fonts here. So I'm just trying to get some ideas of how I might make a title for him. Nice sort of sans serif bold fonts, sans serif hand-drawn kind of bold fonts, and some really nice examples. And so really nice posters there. And here's probably his most famous one. You can see the big M and things like that. So this will give me some idea of what kind of, I'm going to use a sans serif font and kind of bold. And again, I'll list some things on the screen that give you some typography options and some reading about the different typography pieces. And there's a whole chapter in the book on that. So let's get started with the typography part. So I'm going to start with a title for my poster here. The first thing I'm going to do is start with a new layer. So if I click on here, it's going to give me a new layer. Again, I locked the other two so I don't mess with them. I'm going to leave them like they are. I'm going to go over to my type tool, which is the T that is located within the toolbar. And then I'm going to just click on the screen. Don't worry about what color it is or what font it is at the very beginning. You can just type it in. And then I'm going to paste because I had his name already saved. And actually I think it is. Let me open up my Word document. And maybe I'll just copy and paste from my Word document so everything's spelled properly, right? And let me go back. So all I did was go to my Word document and copy by highlighting the text and hitting Control C on the keyboard. Then I'm going to go back to Illustrator and I'm going to paste. And once I'm done pasting, I can then go and adjust my text. If I have my text selected, I could go to the character window, and this is the window that we're going to use most. And the character window is under Window, Character. It's under Type, Character. And in the character window is where you can adjust all kinds of things: size, line height, leading, kerning, and all kinds of things. First thing I do is make it bigger so I can see it, and that's going to be here underneath the T here in the character window. There's a big T and it's measured in points right there. So if I make it bigger, then I can start seeing what my letters look like. And I make it even a little bit bigger. There we go, nice big text there so I can see what I'm doing. Now, of course, the font, the size of the type of font you use would also determine the letters, the size that you're using. And so if I go over here to the font area underneath character here, it'll allow me to choose the different types of fonts. Okay, usually it would show me what the font looks like, and if that's not showing you what the font looks like, you can go underneath the type option up here and say font, and then it'll show you kind of what the font looks like up here. Okay, so on this computer I have a variety of different fonts. Most of them are the plain fonts that come with Illustrator, but you can use other fonts, and I'm going to show you where you can find some fonts and download some fonts. So in this case, I've already downloaded a whole bunch of them. You can see there's probably some in my list that you don't have there. So if you're going through the font list, these are the standard fonts that we have. As we talk about fonts inside of Illustrator, you'll notice there's some that have the O here, some that have the T here. The O is the open type and the T is the true type. So as we're going down and looking at type, you can sort of think about that. I'll put a video online that explains the difference between open type and true type. The true type is more of the older style. The open type is a lot more robust. And again, I will post a video that will explain all of the difference between those. But I'm going through the list here, and there's some pretty plain fonts here. Not very nice. Not very nice at all. Wow. Well, how about if that one's not too bad. Well, how about if we want to go and find a new font and put it onto my computer? Well, let's save our project we're working on right now. Let's save it. This is Let's save it. Okay, and then let's go and look at where we can find fonts. Usually I don't have the program running when I install fonts on my computer, just because sometimes they don't load up and you don't see them within the application. Now there's two different ways of dealing with fonts. I'm using a Windows computer, so I really kind of need to find a Windows type of font, and if you're using a Mac, you can find a Mac font. If you're going to use a Mac, you would want to install your fonts on the using the font book. I don't know about Vista or Windows 7. I'm still using XP. So again, I'm going to close this, and actually let me pause this video, and I will start from where we can find fonts and how to install them.